Happy spring. Hopefully it's starting to get nicer. And I know where I live in Bend, Oregon, it's getting beautiful days. Nature's coming alive. The days are getting longer. And there's a new energy on the planet. And like I spoke about a couple weeks ago, there ought to be a new energy that's coming alive in us. And as we move into spring and towards summer, it's a real natural time to explore these new energies and these new aspects of ourselves that are coming alive. And there's no better way to do this than through, experience, to get in experiences, to try on these new energies when we interact with people and the experiences that we have in our lives. It's the perfect time to do that. And I want to talk about a tendency that seems to happen, okay, when we do this, especially when we go into a new experience, okay, but really it happens when we go into any experience, but especially when we go into new experiences, we tend to focus on the thing that we're familiar with, okay, the thing that's a strong part of our reality. Remember, these new aspects, they're not really formed as really being part of our reality yet. So we focus on the thing we're familiar with, the thing that we're comfortable with. I've called it the comfort zone would apply here. The things and that's when we go into a new experience or a new room or a new situation, that's what we see first. We see the thing that we're familiar with. And the thing that happens, I want to talk about it in terms of like a photography. Okay, I'm not a photographer, but you've probably seen these photographs that they use this like really focused SLR camera where part of the photograph is like in perfect focus, and then as you move away from that, it starts to get kind of blurry, and it creates this really cool kind of artsy effect in photography. And but that's what I want, and I'm really interested in the part that's blurry because the part that we focus in on is obviously in this metaphor, it's the part that's focused in the photograph. But then there's the areas around that area that are kind of blurry. Okay? And these are these I'm going to call this the periphery for lack of better words. I just think it sounds cool, so I'm going with it. The periphery are these things, these people, these experiences, these things that are happening, these places, these situations that are happening around the part that we're familiar with. And these parts are really rich in possibilities. They're things that we just literally don't see as we go through life. We end up going through life really just like zooming in on the things that we're focused and comfortable on. Well, there's all this other stuff around that we usually don't even see. When I talk about limiting belief systems, like I'm not lovable or I'm not capable, or that I do that in some of the work I do with people. The scariest things about belief systems, if it's not in your belief system, you don't even see it. Okay, if you're not lovable and someone loves you, you don't even notice it, right? Because it's literally, the belief system makes it not be in your reality. So we almost just don't even notice it's happening. So my theory is that with belief systems and with new experiences and in the periphery, there's all these things, there's all these possibilities, and there's these people, and there's these new ways to awaken these new parts of ourselves, all that are going on all around us, like around us all the time, that we don't even see, that we don't even consider. We might say, well, that's not for me. That's for other people. Or people like that don't really like me. And the other thing, so we discount them. If we do see them, we discount them. Well, my challenge to you this week is to explore the periphery. Okay, and as many of the things I suggest, it requires getting out of your comfort zone a little bit, but it is exciting. It's spring. It's a time of discovery. Be an explorer, and step outside. And so all you need to do is when you go into an experience is just notice what you naturally focus on. Okay, and that's That's the thing that's in focus. That's usually something that you're comfortable with, something that you understand. That's your go-to thing to do. And then you know how to be in that, you know how to interact with that. And then what I'm asking you to do is to stop. Say you go into a new party or a new social event or a wedding or a new social experience. You go in and then you see your go-to things, right? There are your people, someone you know, hey, and then my suggestion is, as a practice, is to just kind of stop. And it's just like, okay, now there are my people. There are the things I'm comfortable with. There's the activities that I'm comfortable with. Okay, which does not include karaoke. But those are the things that I'm comfortable with. The other things, not so much, right? And so I want you to just kind of stop if you're to try this practice, and then just kind of look around. It's like and it's not going to go away. It can always come back to it, right? But what else is here? That's the inquiry that I'd like you to work with. The spiritual inquiry or the self-inquiry is, what else is here? So, and you don't have to, at this phase, you don't have to do anything about it yet, okay? Just look around. Like, move your focus to somewhere else. Move it off the thing you're focusing and start looking around. What else is here? Who else is here? What else is going around in this experience? And is any of that interesting to me? It might be a little scary, but is it kind of intriguing? And if so, my invitation is to go check it out. Okay, you can, and sure, when you're feeling like you want to go back to home base, go back to your comfort people, and your comfort, but also allow yourself to work the room a little bit, not in an agenda sort of way, but just kind of look, what else is here? What am I not seeing? What have I not been allowing myself to experience here? Okay, and what tends to happen, what happens to me and with my clients, is it's a whole new world opens up, and we don't even have to go anywhere. Just go into the same experiences that you would normally be doing. You don't have to travel. You can just, if you're traveling, great. It works great when you're traveling too. But you can just live the same life you've been living, but then just take that and start expanding out. Either expand or change your focus, scan in a different way, and just like, what else is here? And then go up and say hi to a person that you wouldn't normally say hi to. Now, is this a little scary? Yeah, because we're out of our comfort zone. But I think you'll be, if you're like me, when I do this, and it seems like whenever I go in like a new level of consciousness, this naturally happens too. Maybe you've experienced it when you've go into a new epiphany or something, and then it's like, wow, I remember once I like to tell stories. So once I was doing this ceremony, I was part of the summer solstice ceremonies that we were doing, and I was actually a participant. My teacher was teaching, and I had this big kind of, you could call it awakening or big transition happen. And I came out and I was in this new, this space of the East, wow, everything was just new. And the experience was like, wow, where did all these cool people come from? They were the people in the circle, which were really cool people, but I probably had my few go-to friends that were there. And then it's like some of the new people I didn't know. It's like, where did these people are really cool. Now, I was sitting here with them yesterday, but I didn't even notice them. It's like, this person over here, he seems really cool, and so things, when you start exercising this consciousness, and when your consciousness shifts, and when you start opening, really you're opening your kind of third eye, you're opening your perceptive field. That's the periphery, as you're opening up and looking around. It seems like new people and new things just kind of appear. And then you realize it's like, oh my gosh, these things have been here all along, but I just haven't noticed them. I haven't or I discounted them, or I didn't figure they were my people, or I was to this or to that. That wasn't for me, And so this is the practice that I would invite you to do. And you can go in, there's different ways. I just had a client the other day that when she goes into this new experience is to notice all the people. Like she happened to be single, and I said, just notice all the guys in the room. There's your go-to people, right? There's your go-to guys that you're like always gonna go to, and then it's like, who else is here? Like, who are the other guys that are in the room? You know, and I was like, I had her like write them all down, like even notice, like know each one of them, like all of them, you know, and then it's usually like, wow, you know, then we start meeting new types of people, not just our type, right? Start meeting a diversity of people. We start having a diversity of experiences, you know, which is, and then we can, in these new things, we can allow these new parts of ourselves to come out and develop and interact. And by being in new situations, the new parts of ourselves come out. And I'm not, you know, the people aren't putting me in my little, you know, pigeonhole. They're like, I can be myself. I can experiment with new parts of myself. And you get the idea. I'm kind of going on and on here. So that's what I would invite you to do. You know, this spring is enjoy it, live a little, and try something new. And you don't even have to go anywhere new. Just notice what's going around in the places that you happen to find yourself. So that is my video for this week. Thank you for watching. And I hope you have an awesome week and that you try just stopping and looking around, expanding out and exploring the periphery a little bit and seeing what's there. I will see you in a week.